New at 11, Alan Weisselberg, the former CFO of the Trump Organization, just learned his fate after being convicted for lying under oath in the former president's civil fraud trial. He's headed to jail. News 4's Erica Byfield is at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan with what happened this morning. Erica?
Well, Gilma, his appearance lasted just a few moments. I was inside sitting in the courtroom watching it all unfold. Just after the judge sentenced him to 5 months behind bars, she asked him if he had anything he wanted to say, and he said, quote, "No, Your Honor." Take a look. This is what Alan Weisselberg looked like today when he arrived here at this courthouse. He had on a mask. He also had on a jacket and what appeared to be comfortable pants, because we now know that he already knew that he was headed to jail. This is the inside of Manhattan's criminal courtroom. He is Donald Trump's former longtime CFO. And
okay, so Trump's inner circle is crumbling. And I'm not talking about metaphorically. I'm talking about literal criminal convictions. One of Trump's closest financial lieutenants, Alan Weisselberg, the CFO of the Trump Organization, already pleaded guilty to felony perjury. He lied under oath in Trump's civil fraud case, and a judge sent him to jail for 5 months. 5 months in Rikers Island, and he had to pay over $1 million, and that's just the beginning. Because now you've got another senior Trump loyalist, Kash Patel, the FBI director, facing formal perjury allegations from the Senate Judiciary Committee chair. Durbin has written to the Justice Department saying Patel may have committed perjury. Whistleblowers say Patel lied about directing purges of FBI officials. And if those allegations are proven, Patel could face criminal prosecution and conviction just like Weisselberg. So you've got one Trump insider already imprisoned for lying in a Trump case, and another Trump insider facing active perjury allegations that could result in conviction. But before we go any further, real quick, let's be honest. You can't really trust mainstream media anymore. That's why we built Pump Politics, to bring you real stories, real context, and no corporate spin. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines, join our free newsletter. We'll send the news straight to your inbox every day. Just click the link in the description to join. And if you just want to support what we're doing, join us. Be part of the community that actually cares about the truth. All right, let's get back to the video.
The financial officer for Donald Trump's real estate company pleaded guilty to perjury this morning. It is from Alan Weisselberg's testimony during the former president's civil fraud trial. Weisselberg surrendered this morning. The judge says he will be sentenced to 5 years in jail. Stacia?
Come on, are you kidding me? Trump's CFO goes to jail for lying under oath to protect Trump's interests. That shows you how far people will go to shield Trump from consequences. Weisselberg was one of Trump's closest financial advisors. Weisselberg knew all of Trump's financial secrets. Weisselberg knew about the inflated valuations. Weisselberg knew Trump was lying about his net worth. And when Weisselberg had to testify in court, Weisselberg lied. Weisselberg inflated numbers. Weisselberg gave false testimony. And when he got caught, when the judge figured out what he did, Weisselberg pleaded guilty to perjury, and he went to jail. That's the price of lying in court to protect Trump. And here's what's absolutely wild about this situation. Weisselberg's perjury didn't even save Trump. Judge Arthur Engoron still issued a massive judgment against Trump. Engoron still ordered Trump to pay roughly $355 million. Engoron said Trump's valuations were fraudulent and shocked the conscience. So Weisselberg went to jail for lying. But Trump still got hit with a massive fraud judgment anyway. Weisselberg's perjury didn't protect Trump. It just got Weisselberg sent to prison. That's a cautionary tale for anyone else thinking about lying to protect Trump. You're going to get caught, you're going to go to jail, and Trump's still going to lose anyway. Are you serious right now? And now you've got Kash Patel facing the same kind of perjury allegations. Patel swore under oath at his confirmation hearing that he was not aware of any purge of FBI officials tied to Trump probes. But whistleblowers say that's a lie. Whistleblowers say Patel secretly directed those purges. Whistleblowers say Patel personally orchestrated the removal of FBI officials who investigated Trump. And if that's true, if Patel lied under oath, then Patel could be charged with perjury just like Weisselberg. Patel could go to jail just like Weisselberg. Patel could face criminal conviction and imprisonment for lying in a Trump matter. So here's where we are right now. Trump's inner circle is getting destroyed by perjury prosecutions. One Trump insider is already in jail for lying under oath. Another Trump insider is facing formal perjury allegations from a Senate committee chair. And the pattern is clear. People who lie for Trump end up getting convicted and going to jail. That's the price of protecting Trump in court. That's what happens when you put loyalty to Trump above honesty under oath. The courts catch you, the courts convict you, and you end up in prison. Okay, so let's dig into what actually happened with Alan Weisselberg and understand why he pleaded guilty to perjury and went to jail. Because this is not just about one person's legal problems. This is about the pattern of people lying for Trump and facing criminal consequences. So let's look at the specifics of Weisselberg's case and understand what happened and what it means for others in Trump's orbit. Alan Weisselberg was the CFO of the Trump Organization. Weisselberg was one of Trump's closest financial advisors. Weisselberg had worked with Trump for decades. Weisselberg knew all of Trump's financial details. Weisselberg knew how Trump valued his properties. Weisselberg knew about all the financial dealings of the Trump Organization. And Weisselberg was deeply involved in preparing the financial statements that Trump used to apply for loans and insurance. So Weisselberg knew the truth about Trump's valuations. Weisselberg knew whether Trump's properties were being accurately valued or inflated. And when Judge Engoron held the civil fraud trial, Weisselberg was called to testify. Weisselberg took the stand. Weisselberg was sworn to tell the truth under oath. And Weisselberg lied. Weisselberg testified about how Trump's Manhattan triplex was valued. And Weisselberg testified that it was valued at nearly 3 times its actual value. That's not accurate valuation, that's fraud. That's deliberately overstating the value of a property to mislead banks and insurance companies. And Weisselberg testified to support that fraudulent valuation. Weisselberg provided false numbers. Weisselberg gave testimony that was knowingly dishonest. And Weisselberg got caught. Prosecutors realized Weisselberg was lying. Prosecutors realized Weisselberg's testimony didn't match the facts. And prosecutors confronted Weisselberg with the contradiction. And Weisselberg realized he was facing perjury charges. So Weisselberg cut a deal. In March 2024, Weisselberg pleaded guilty to 2 felony perjury counts. Weisselberg admitted that he lied under oath. Weisselberg admitted that he gave false testimony to support Trump's fraudulent valuations. And Weisselberg agreed to cooperate with prosecutors and provide accurate information. And then in April 2024, a Manhattan judge sentenced Weisselberg to 5 months in Rikers Island, 5 months in jail. That's a serious sentence for perjury. That's not a slap on the wrist. That's actual prison time. And the judge also ordered Weisselberg to pay more than $1 million. So Weisselberg faced both jail time and a massive fine for lying under oath. And prosecutors said Weisselberg's perjury plea effectively admitted the substance of 5 perjury counts tied to his testimony. So Weisselberg was basically admitting to multiple instances of lying under oath. And here's what's crucial. Weisselberg's perjury didn't save Trump. Judge Engoron still found Trump liable for fraud. Engoron still ordered Trump to pay hundreds of millions in disgorgement. Engoron said Trump's valuations were fraudulent and shocked the conscience. So all of Weisselberg's lying, all of his perjury, all of his attempts to cover for Trump, none of it worked. Trump still lost the case. Trump still got hit with a massive judgment, and Weisselberg went to jail for nothing. Weisselberg sacrificed his freedom, his reputation, his future to lie for Trump, and it didn't even help Trump avoid consequences. And here's what that tells you about the dynamics in Trump's orbit. People are so desperate to protect Trump, so desperate to stay loyal to Trump, that they're willing to commit perjury and go to jail. That's how toxic the environment is around Trump. That's how much pressure Trump puts on people around him to protect him at any cost. And when people do try to protect him by lying under oath, they get caught and they go to jail. That's the pattern. That's what happens when you lie for Trump in court. And now you've got Kash Patel facing the same kind of situation. Patel is the FBI director under Trump 2.0. Patel is another senior Trump loyalist, and Patel is now facing perjury allegations. Senate Judiciary Chair Dick Durbin has written to the Justice Department Inspector General alleging that Patel may have committed perjury. Durbin says whistleblowers have reported that Patel secretly orchestrated a purge of FBI officials tied to Trump probes. But at Patel's confirmation hearing, Patel swore under oath that he was not aware of any such plans. That's a direct contradiction. Either Patel lied at his confirmation hearing, or the whistleblowers are lying, and Durbin believes Patel lied. And if investigators confirm what the whistleblowers are saying, if investigators find evidence that Patel did secretly direct the purges, then Patel lied under oath. And Patel could be charged with perjury just like Weisselberg. And Patel could face conviction and jail time just like Weisselberg. So Patel is now in a precarious legal situation where a simple investigation could result in criminal charges. And the Senate Judiciary Committee has already put it on record that they believe Patel lied and is unfit to serve. And here's what's significant. Patel's situation is still developing. Patel hasn't been convicted yet, but the groundwork is being laid for a perjury case. Whistleblowers have come forward. A Senate chair has formally alleged perjury. The Justice Department Inspector General is presumably investigating. And Patel is sitting in a position of significant power as FBI director while facing these allegations. So Patel could potentially face criminal prosecution while still serving as FBI director. That's unprecedented. That's the kind of situation that shows Trump's inner circle is under severe legal pressure. Okay, so let's break down what's actually happening with Trump's inner circle facing perjury convictions and perjury allegations. Because this is about a pattern where people who work for Trump and who try to protect him in court end up facing criminal consequences. So let's look at 3 key points that explain what's going on and what it means. First point, Alan Weisselberg, one of Trump's closest financial advisors, already pleaded guilty to perjury for lying under oath in Trump's civil fraud case. Weisselberg was sentenced to 5 months in jail and ordered to pay over $1 million. So you've got a documented case of a Trump insider going to jail for lying in a Trump matter. That's not hypothetical. That's not speculation. That's a real conviction with real prison time. And that's a cautionary tale for anyone else in Trump's orbit who might be thinking about lying under oath to protect Trump. Second point, Kash Patel, another senior Trump loyalist who is now FBI director, is facing formal perjury allegations from the Senate Judiciary Committee chair. Durbin has written to the Justice Department saying, Patel may have committed perjury. Whistleblowers say Patel lied about directing purges of FBI officials, and if investigators confirm those allegations, Patel could face criminal prosecution and conviction just like Weisselberg. So Patel is now in a situation where one investigation could result in him being charged with perjury and convicted and imprisoned. Third point, the pattern is clear. Trump creates an environment where people feel pressure to lie for him. People commit perjury to protect Trump's interests. But when they get caught lying under oath, they face criminal conviction and jail time. And their lying doesn't even help Trump avoid consequences. Trump still loses his cases. Trump still faces judgment. So people are going to jail for nothing. They're sacrificing their freedom to try to protect Trump, and it's not even working. So here's what's really at stake. The question of whether Trump's inner circle will continue to be willing to lie under oath to protect him now that they know there are serious consequences. Weisselberg went to jail. That's a clear message. If you lie for Trump in court, you're going to get caught and you're going to go to prison. And if Patel gets investigated and prosecuted for perjury, that sends another message. Lying for Trump can destroy your career and result in imprisonment. So Trump's ability to get people to lie for him in court is probably going to diminish as people realize the costs. And here's what's likely to happen next. As more Trump associates face testimony requirements in court cases, more of them are probably going to be tempted to lie to protect Trump. But they'll be doing so knowing that Weisselberg went to jail for doing the same thing. They'll be doing so knowing that Patel is facing perjury allegations for allegedly lying under oath. And they'll probably think twice about whether it's worth going to jail to protect Trump. Some will do it anyway because loyalty to Trump is that strong, but others will probably choose to tell the truth and let the consequences fall where they may. And here's what's important about the broader implications. This is how accountability works when the normal legal system fails. Trump won't be convicted on serious charges because of immunity and technical legal issues and appointed judges. But the people around Trump are being held accountable for lying to protect him. So accountability is still happening, just at a different level. Trump's associates are the ones facing conviction and imprisonment, not Trump himself. But that still matters because it shows that lying in court has consequences. And here's what's significant about the message this sends. It sends a message to everyone in Trump's orbit that lying under oath is not a free action. It's a felony. It can result in conviction and imprisonment. And it's not even effective because judges are figuring out what's happening and convicting people anyway. So the incentive to commit perjury is going down. The cost of perjury is going up. And that means future cases are probably going to get more honest testimony because people are going to be less willing to risk prison time to protect Trump. So the bottom line is this. Alan Weisselberg, one of Trump's closest financial advisors, pleaded guilty to perjury and went to jail for 5 months for lying under oath in Trump's civil fraud case. And now Kash Patel, another senior Trump loyalist, is facing formal perjury allegations from a Senate committee chair and could potentially face criminal prosecution and conviction. The pattern is clear. People who lie for Trump in court face serious legal consequences, including jail time. And that pattern is going to deter other people in Trump's orbit from committing perjury. Weisselberg's conviction and imprisonment is a cautionary tale that shows the price of loyalty when it involves lying under oath. And Patel's situation shows that the scrutiny on Trump associates is intense, and that allegations of perjury are being taken seriously by Congress and by law enforcement. This is going to be a major story as investigations into Patel's conduct unfold, and as other Trump associates face the decision of whether to lie in court or tell the truth. The message is becoming clear. Lying for Trump in court can destroy your life and land you in prison.